Hello folks and welcome back to day one of the Smite Oceanic Pro League, the first ever Pro League for Smite in the Oceanic region. I am Alexander Hughes and joining me is Timmy Turner.
Ah, you remember my last name, did you? How you doing? How you doing, Hughesy?
I mean, it's a fairly odd name.
It is a little bit. I'm excited for this one, the first ever Oceanic Pro League match being played out here right in front of us today.
It should be a good one, and got up first Avant, Garde, the juggernauts of the invite ladder, up against against Synapse Gaming, I should say, a team that did well on the open ladder with some previously invite ladder level players, and now looking to make a name for themselves in the Pro League.
Yeah, so we can see the first bands coming out here is Wk1 and Wk1 from the side of Avant Gaming, as well as Ymir and Ares from Synapse. That does leave Sylvanas open and Athena open as well, so that could be picked up straight away. You know, have that double Guardian, put Athena in the jungle as that flex pick sort of thing. Very controlling, very strong. And, like, do you think Ymir and Ares were worth banning out?
Ymir, yes. Ares, no. But I think Synapse were looking here. They were saying, all right, we'll just ban out these two guys, and we'll at least get one strong god in our two picks. We might even get two strong ones, but it's going to leave Avant-Garde a very strong pick. Now, it's either going to be a Sylvanas or Athena going to Avant-Garde. As we take a look here, we do see Sylvanas picked up, and I guess Synapse had to think, you know, are we willing to let them have Sylvanas? And apparently they are. That's going to be played by Biggie, and he really likes his Sylvanas. A lot of assists on him in the invite ladder, doing a lot of work. And Sylvanas, whenever we saw him played, he almost always won. Like, he's got something close to a 90% win rate, and he's banned most of the time, quite frankly, and it's very odd for Synapse to have left him open.
Yeah, Sylvanas is just absolutely winning lane. It's very hard to kill him and his opponent with the healing from the Wisps. The Verdant Growth and Nature Scrubs is very good for locking people down, and he's got a very strong level 5 engagement there with the Wrath of Terror. The other thing as well is that you can put pretty much anyone with Sylvanas, even people who struggle early, and they will go through with a breeze. So expect a very strong hyper carry late game hunter coming from Avant-Garde. As we mentioned before, Synapse have picked up Athena and Circuit in their first round of picks, so that is going to be a Athena support and Circuit in the jungle.
You could possibly see Athena in the solo lane, but I doubt it. It's a good kind of flex pick to push around there, but I guess they really wanted the Circuit, because by leaving Sylvanas and Athena open, you almost guarantee that Geb won't be picked up. I guess if the other team picked up Athena, they could pick up Geb as well. But the Circuit pick must be very highly valued for Synapse for them to make such a play for it. And the Athena, I really like this pick because she's got that global presence with Defender of Olympus, can get all around the map, and that's just so useful for a support to do, and especially one of Athena's caliber, to be able to set up for team fights with that taunt. She can do a lot of damage with her rally as well, and just doing so much work. And she's almost the same as Sylvanas as being prioritized first pick or ban. The Agni, I really like from Agony. That's going to be a tough one to say during the broadcast. But he brings a lot to team fights with his bombs, and as well as that stun combo he can land as well. And Agony, probably close to the strongest player on the side of Synapse Gaming, and that's one of his picks. I've seen him play a fair bit. We saw it in the Pro League qualifiers as well, and he did lots of work with it. So maybe just going for a little bit of comfort picks in their first game, trying to, you know, let the nerves reside here. And now we can see the final pickup from Avant-Garde is going to be that Bastet.
Yeah, Bastet is very strong in the jungle, very strong early, so we are going to be able to see a bit more aggression from that jungle from Avant-Garde early. Just more than Circuit, because Circuit does take a little bit of time to come out online, and the level 5 potential from Bastet is phenomenal. I'm seeing a very strong level 5 team coming from Avant-Garde. We've got the Janus 3 space and time to transport people over from one side of the map to the other. You've got the Cats coming out, the World Weaver will be coming out as well from anywhere across the map, and then the Wrath of Terror does a huge amount of disruption. So I'm expecting the fight very early.
What we've seen in the SPL and NA and EU is Janus being first banned a lot, and that might be because the pros over there have realized something that the players over here have not. about Giannis' strength. But if anyone was to realize that the newfound strength of Giannis is going to be avant-garde, their name literally means to be at the vanguard, to be at the forefront, and they'll be researching that quite heavily. And so I expect Avant to be using that Janus to full effect. If we go through our next bans now, Gibalanke banned out from Avant-Garde and Medusa banned from Synapse Gaming. So those hunters getting banned out here looking for some more strong picks, and then Synapse picking up Apollo. So that's a favorite of Hearts Go Boom. It's going to be... It's really great for split pushing as well. And that's something that Synapse like to do, is to split push quite a bit. And the global presence, again, you combine that with the Athena, it's really going to allow Synapse to be all over the map.
Yes, and Circuit also being very mobile. As although she doesn't have that global presence, it almost feels like she does with how much mobility that she has. I'm a bit surprised that Synapse banned out Medusa when they picked up the Athena, because Medusa Athena hurts. It's absolutely wombo combo, but as you said, the split push, Synapse, they like to split push, and when a team split pushes against you, it puts you in a very awkward situation, because you have to make quick decisions on what do you need to prioritize. Do you need to get the Apollo off of the tower, or do you need to go secure the Gold Fury or secure Fire Giant, pick up a kill, this and that? So, like you said, Avant-Garde, they do their homework. They are absolutely one of the most knowledgeable teams, if not the most knowledgeable teams in the Oceanic scene. So I don't think they'll have too much problems with any shenanigans getting thrown out that way.
Alright, and speaking of global presences, we can see the Neath picked up now from Avant-Garde, as well as that Bologna. So the Janus and Neath going to give Avant-Garde their own global presence in this match. Bologna, I can't believe she made it through all the way to almost the last pick. A very strongly prioritized pick in ranked matches and other Pro League matches. And Sporks is going to be playing her, and that's going to be very scary for the guys at Synapse Gaming. Neath, another very strong hunter. She was almost first pick or ban, kind of in the last half meta, I guess. The last, season 2.0. We're now in what I like to call season 2.1. Whereas now she's kind of dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, she has dropped off a little bit. Just a little bit of flavor sort of thing. We're going to go ahead and get into our match very soon.
Our last pick, though, is going to be Chark for the side of Synapse Gaming. So Chark, he's coming back into the flavor again. That, just as you said, a lot of flavor picks really being put out into these matches, and Chark really coming back into that kind of flavor of the month solo role. The solo lane tends to have those kind of like, oh, this god's OP this month. Oh,
yeah,
but now
those
this one is
kind of fluctuations in picks sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly right. Alrighty, so that's going to do it here from us in the pick and ban stage. We will see you in the match in just a moment. Hello and welcome to Game 1 of the Smite Oceanic Pro League between Avant, Garde and Synapse Gaming. I'm Husey and joining me is Timmy.
How are you, Husey?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. So we could see some early aggressive warding for both of these teams. Synapse doing a 5-man grouping to place a ward near the mid-camps, and Avant Garde already placed 3 wards out on the map. That's more wards than most teams place in the first 5 minutes. But one thing we do know about Avant Garde is they value their map control.
Yeah, Avant Garde, they know that Synapse might be up to something. They've done their homework. They don't want to be caught up in anything early. They want this beginning for them to run as smoothly as possible. So, before anything major happens, go ahead and introduce our teams.
Alrighty, so fighting out of the order side of the map, underneath the blue health bars, we have got Avant Garde. This will be a solo lane Bologna. Ro is in the jungle as Bastet. Ochita is your mid lane Janice. And Biggie and Subfloor make up your duo lane as Sylvanas and Neath.
And finally, off the top side of your mini-map, on the right side of your spectator UI, we have Synapse Gaming. Elucidator is Chuck in the solo lane. Funke is Sir Cat in the jungle. In the mid lane, we will have Agony on Agony. That's a bit of a tongue twister. And your duo lane will be Entropy and Heartsco Boom as Athena and Apollo.
Alright, so we've got a bit of a pause here. I understand there was a blackout at Elucidator's house. It'll be a bit of a long one. We should be back within a couple of minutes. So just hang tight, folks, and we'll see you soon. Alrighty, so we're still in a little bit of a pause here. Everything's not quite resolved here. It looks like Elucidator is back. Yeah, we're going into unpause. A little bit of the speed. We're still sped up a little bit, so we're just going to go ahead and slow that down. But we introduced our teams, Avant Garde versus Synapse Gaming, and, well, I think most of us in the crowd expect Avant Garde to come out on top in this one.
Yeah, Avant Garde's definitely the favorites team to be today, but a little bit interesting starts towards the jungle and solo lane. Avant Garde went for that standard sort of start for the speed into the blue buff, whereas Synapse Gaming went for the quote-unquote AFK start, where they forgo the speed buff for now and the red buff, drop the blue buff for their solo lane, and then go straight for those mid camps. And they're going to go ahead and get both of the mid camps, so they're going to have timers for both of those, and Avant Garde are going to be completely in the dark. But they're going to go ahead and try and sniff out something in the jungle, and they're going to see that juicy little speed buff right there.
And that's a little bit of a thing for Synapse to do, because we all know Funky loves his speed buff, and for him to sacrifice that to do this AFK start is really, you know, something unexpected. And Synapse, well, they're nothing if not unexpected. And Avant managed to get something out of that, though. They take away a back camp. They may be looking for the speed buff now because Synapse haven't returned to lane. And if so, that's going to be a huge drop for Synapse to not have that speed buff. And it means they'll also not have the timer on the speed buff either, whereas Avant Garde will. So Avant, you know, they may have lost the mid camp timers, but they're willing to sacrifice that for an extra few seconds on the speed.
And this means that they're also going to be able to push into the jungle a bit more, try and get some invasions coming in to try and shut down Funke because of that speed buff timer. And like I'm just not sure on that start there, because speed buff is very important, especially for for Circuit, because that means Bastet is going to be able to Ro's going to be able to absolutely dominate him more early on and just dominate the map.
If you do the simple maths there, what Synapse got was they got a red buff and 2 mid camps and a speed buff. Whereas Avant, they got their speed buff, they got their blue buff, they got their back camp, they got Synapse's back camp, and they got Synapse's speed buff. So just in terms of pure amount of camps, Avant comes out on top there. We can see ultimate pop there by Sporks and Ro going in on Elucidator. This could be first blood. The kitty cats are popped, and down goes Elucidator. First blood to Avant-Garde. Sporks getting credited with that kill.
Oh, Bologna with a first blood. That's just a nasty time right there. It's going to be very uphill for the rest of the game from Elucidator. It's going to be very difficult for him to try and deal with that now that Sporks has that early lead on him.
Exactly right. And Ro has this remarkable ability to always hit level 5 before basically about 2 minutes 30 in the game. He always seems to find the maximum amount of farm and experience on the map. And it just makes, you're not expecting that early gank from him. And now we can see Biggie blinking in on the duo lane. Root, Hearts Go Boom, nice pullback. There's this Root as well from subfloor. Hearts Go Boom needs to get out here. He's taking a lot of damage from Avant-Garde. He could go down here, always on the barest amount of health. The broken weave just about kill him, and there's the ultimate, the world weave from subfloor to take down Hearts Go Boom.
Just when you get away with less than 50 HP, you're up in arms. Yes, we got away. Neath ult.
And Entropy really could have body blocked that there. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication between that duo there. Boom not really telling him where he was. We also saw the snipe from a cheetah come through from the mid lane through through space of time on Janus, just to keep Hearts Go Boom in that duo lane a little bit longer, forced to juke out of the way. So allowing subfloor to really set up for that kill.
Yeah, just forcing him to stay underneath that tower, not knowing where the aim is going to be. So he was just trapped on all sides, and there's just not a whole lot you can do there, but towards these mid-camps, you're going to see Rose going to spot out these mid-camps, so he's going to be able to see what time that comes back up, because he does have that ward there on the left mid-camp, so they are going to be able to perhaps get back into that, start taking control over the mid-camps, because they already got that early lead just from all of those back camps, like you said earlier, but if they manage to get those mid-camps, it's just going to be absolutely uphill for Synapse Gaming.
Exactly right. We can see some wardage around the mid lane now. That's really warding the path to duo, whereas on the side of Avant-Garde, they've got a sentry leading to aggressively on the solo lane side. So it looks like Rose looking to pick on that lane quite a bit, take advantage of Elucidator going down early. All right, let's talk about our mid lane battle. We said in the pre-game that it was going to be the battle between Agony and Ochita that was going to really determine who could come out on top. Agony does a lot of his team's damage. And, if he can, go even or even win that mid lane, it's going to be huge for Synapse.
It will be huge, but the thing is that Giannis, he does struggle a little bit early. He doesn't have, that massive amount of ridiculous damage from the unstable vortex, but he scales up much higher in comparison to Agni. On the right-hand side, Sporks taking down Funke, through space and time coming out, not hidden Elucidator. Cats are going to push him back into that tower. He's going to lose his blue buff because of that.
Yeah, another well-executed gank there from Avant-Garde, and that's just the wardage they had there. They knew that they could take advantage of that situation and just, put Synapse another step behind. Now, this is in Season 2.1, as I term it, the anti-snowball kind of season, where even if you go behind a little bit early, you can still come back towards the late game, with early kills and gold furies and the like being prioritized much less than they were in Season 2 and even Season 1. But Avant-Garde is like the one team in OCE you don't want to give a lead to.
Basically, that's exactly right. And because it's that T-Snowball sort of late, actually not rough with Tara coming out onto Entropy, he's going to get body blocked, but no, he manages to get dashed out, but Ochita picks him up with the unstable vortex. But because it's a bit harder to snowball, just because the golden XP is reduced from kills, it is more and more important to keep proactive. You can't just say, oh, we've got, 2 more kills, or we've stolen a jungle buff. We're ahead now. No, you have to keep on the assault. And Ro's been doing this. He's already picked up another speed buff, which belonged to Funke.
Exactly right, and that's really going to hurt Synapse, not just because of Funke's innate love for his speed buff, because junglers need their speed buffs to have that presence around the map that is just so highly valued in the jungle, because you need to control the whole map, because map control is what will lead you to victory, because you can get that extra XP and farm from those camps and things like that, and it's just denying it to Synapse and putting Avant further and further ahead. Over in the duo lane, Biggie comes across now, maybe looking for something. Looks like Subfloor was just trying to zone out the wave here, but now he's going to clear it. Maybe rotate to mid, look and see if they can contest these mid camps.
Well, the mid camps are pretty much done right now. Those Agni Bombs are going to try and melt those down, so they're going to settle for the purple buff, give that to Subfloor, just try and keep them floating. We haven't seen a huge amount in the mid lane, though. Normally we see, those 3-on-3 sort of skirmishes, team fights early on in that mid lane, but there's just not been a whole lot. It's mostly been over in the solo lane.
Yeah, exactly right. Rogue camping that solo lane. Yeah, I guess maybe in their research they turned up something where they could really pick on Elucidate or pick on the wardage from Synapse. But you can see Synapse has actually got a sentry and it's just out of range of the Avant sentry, so they can't see each other there. So neither quite knows where the other has warded. And then we can see Elucidate seeing another ward. You can tell he's definitely scared of that Bastet gank.
He needs to be scared because he's already been killed off. He was first blooded, and he's getting absolutely bullied by Sporks. If he wants to be able to be a factor later on this game, he needs to get big. He needs to get healthy and tanky, just be that absolute disruptor. But big grouping over towards these mid camps, there's a lot of contention, just a lot of to and fro over here.
Exactly right, and just so many sentry wards being placed out by Avant, and that's once again them winning the map control battle, because obviously with sentry wards you can see regular wards and take them out. Looks like Avant's going to start this Gold Fury now. Synapse may not know what's going on. There's the cat's pop. Ocheeta's here doing lots of damage to their road, just trying to zone him out, and nice secure there from Ocheeta using the through space of time to take that Gold Fury out of contention. Heart's Boom actually used his across the skies to try and come in and contest it, but just a little bit too late.
That's unfortunate. If we take a quick look at our graphs, we can see that Avant Garde is up 5,500 points in XP and just over 4,000 gold, so it's definitely in their favor. Although the Gold Fury is not worth all that much early, it's still worth something. It does start off at 150 gold at 0 minutes into the game and does gain gold every minute.
Exactly right. Back over towards our buff camps now, we can see Avant going to take their own speed buff. Back towards our warding now, we can see a lot of sentry wards now coming out from Synapse, a bit reflexively perhaps in response to the Avant Garde sentry ward presence. And now the whole left-hand side of the map is pretty much dominated by the wardage of Synapse Gaming. And hopefully that extra map control will allow them to spot out Roe before he really gets anywhere. And we just, focus on Roe a bit for a minute. He's definitely the most respected player in Oceanic and widely seen as the best player in the whole scene. He just always he always seems to manage to get ahead no matter what and, just be a completely dominant force for his team. And the fact that he's surrounded by the talent that the rest of Avant Garde possesses is just a bonus point for him. And he's incredibly valuable to his team. And I don't think they'd be the same team without him.
Yeah, definitely. He just picked up a third buff that belonged to Funke. But like you said, there's so many sentry wards from Synapse Gaming on the left-hand side, but Roe is not on the left. He's all the way on the right. Wrath of Terror
in the middle lane, Biggie getting engaged upon now by most of Synapse Gaming, forced to pop the Wrath of Terror. There's the bombs coming out from Agony. He's almost so going down there, getting stunned out. Ocheeta's got no mana to help him out here, but luckily manages to escape behind his tower. Subfloor and Roe going to take the left-hand side midcast. May look for some aggression here. Roe uses his whips on Entropy, but but he misses them both.
Yes, unfortunately there, not a whole lot he would have been able to do against Entropy there as well. He is the Athena, he is the tank, although Agony is getting very low with that shield charge. Spork's just being a dominant force already just in this in that mid lane. Just, you don't want to mess with Bologna. She slows you, she chunks you, she disarms you. There's so much that she can do, and they're going to go ahead for this mid tower. Eagles Rally coming out, and that's 2 kills for Avant Garde, 6-0. Husker Boom comes on in, but that's probably a bad decision. Mesmerize gone down onto Row, try and get him out, but he does get picked up there.
Yeah, and now Elucidator looking to come back in. There's the bombs from Agony as well, but down goes Sporks through the portal. Sorry, he doesn't go down, he goes through the portal. He manages to get out of there alive, and down goes the mid-tier 1 tower. That was a bit of a misplay there for Heartscope Boom, coming in a little bit too late. should have really just, you know, gotten out of that fight and just gave another kill to Avant Garde unnecessarily. Now Avant is up 7-0 and looking like they're going to take down this tier 1 on the left here. Synapse, they're getting themselves in a bit of a hole here, and I don't think they can climb out.
Yeah, they're definitely losing their grip here because Avant, they're just dominating. They're taking all of the buffs now. They've taken 2 towers already before 12 minutes. They also took the Gold Fury. This is not looking good for Synapse if they want to get through
gets
this.
Caught out here as he lazy backs and he gets taunted in. Entropy and down he goes. Fonke picks up the first kill there for Synapse Gaming. Biggie uses the Wrath of Terror and ported out nicely from a cheater. So Avant Garde only dropping 1 kill there, but just, yeah, subfloor, man. A little bit of a lazy back there and caught out by pretty much most of Synapse Gaming.
Yeah, Synapse, they're in the tough spot because right now they need to kind of group up for safety so that they don't get picked off. But they also need to farm.
Speaking of picked off, Elucidator in the right-hand lane. The cat's on him, and he goes down to Row and Sporks.
That's it's gonna be so difficult for him for Elucidator to try and come back because he started off with that Mystic Mail, which is a very expensive item. It is quite good, but the issue is that Sporks is just so far ahead that he doesn't care about that 40 damage per tick from the Mystic Mail. He's just gonna go ahead and just pummel you to death.
Yeah. It's so hard to just, you know, try and go through the kill we just saw because then Avant Garde's killing someone else. Agony looking to contest this blue buff here, but there's 3 members of Avant Garde around and he could get caught out if he's not careful. Row whips him there, Path of Flames used to get him back under tower. And man, Avant Garde, they ended last ladder strong and they're coming out strong in this one.
Definitely very strong. If we take another look at graphs, you can just tell how quickly Avant Garde is taking the lead because we just looked at the graphs. Now the XP and gold have pretty much doubled, 12,000 XP and 7,500 gold for Avant Garde. This is... I'm not too sure if Synapse can come back from this.
It's going to be very, very difficult for them to do so. And Synapse, they're looking towards this Gold Fury now, but it is warded heavily. Sorry, it has got a Sentry Ward on it from Avant. There's a heavy wardage from Synapse, actually. So maybe they think that they've got the control that they need on this one. Everyone from Avant's kind of on the right-hand side or middle of the map. A cheater's around the back line there. He will be spotted out by that ward, but looks like Synapse want to engage on Row, and Fonky getting taken quite low, uses some of that poison to get away. There's the through space in time from a cheater. He's looking to clean up. Biggie uses the Wrath of Terror, but Fonky jumps out. He's pulled in by Row. Fonke just manages to get out with his life, but the fight's still going on under the tower. Hearts go boom, uses the across the sky to get in. There's the So Beautiful, but it doesn't manage to hit anyone. And now Avant Garde just going to back off and take what they can from this Rogue, going after the speed buff again. They must realize that is the key to Synapse's strategy, is the speed buff, and he's just denying it to Fonke all game. And here goes the Gold Fury.
Yeah, Synapse, they're putting too much focus onto the left side of this tower. They're looking at Gold Fury, they're seeing money in their eyes for the potential of Avant Garde. But a lot of the things that's been happening have been the cause of the right-hand side of the map. Elucidator getting the game picked off, Row taking all those speed buffs. They get picked off once again by Row. Rather coming out
through
Entropy.
The wall from Biggie. Entropy out of nowhere gets pulled in and a cheater takes it down. What a play from Biggie, pulled through the wall.
That's like... Every time that a Sylvanas pulls someone through the wall, even the Sylvanas just kind of like stops and goes, did that happen?
Yeah.
Nice one, man.
And the rest of his team was just sitting there like at a drive-through McDonald's when the driver pulls the Macca's through the window and hands it to everyone else in the car. Like, ooh, a yummy Athena.
Oh, God.
And here comes the Gold Fury going down again to Avant Garde. That is 2 for them and none for Synapse Gaming. And you know, I said that they were digging themselves a hole now, and it is a veritable pit at the moment.
Definitely. The Gold Fury still hasn't reached its full capacity. It will be at that point in about 5 minutes, but that's not going to stop Avant Garde, because I get the sneaking suspicion that they might be able to muscle themselves into a 3rd Gold Fury, even a Fire Giant. We haven't seen any contention for that yet.
The Fire Giant's really being considered later and later in the game due to this kind of anti-snowball play style that's really been affected by the recent meta changes. And so the Fire Giant really isn't an option this early in the game unless you've got a complete wipe of the enemy team. And Avant Garde, while they've managed to get lots of nice kills, haven't managed to do that yet. Haven't managed to pull off a deicide, but what they have managed is just complete map control. Like, Synapse Gaming are down to their tier 2s, and wards are just so aggressive from Avant Garde. They've got none in sort of below their tier 1 towers. They're all in the middle and upper side of the map.
Ro's just not scared. He just walks straight into people's buffs, takes them, walks out. He's level 17 in comparison to Funke, who is level 13. He's absolutely running rampant here.
Yeah.
Like, this is what Synapse had to try and do to have a chance in this game to try and pull ahead, was to shut down Ro early, but they left that speed buff up. They got those mid cams, you know, as a prioritization, but then they just lost it. Ro's able to get that foothold, and now he's just going on and on and on, and he's not going to be stopping.
And just to compare as well, other parts of the map, Agony's just completed his power boots, so he's like so low mobility up until now, and he's going to be doing so much less damage than a cheetah is. And, you know, Funky hasn't had a speed buff yet, and that's just detrimental for your jungler to not have had a speed buff, because he just can't have that presence around the map. And that's why Ro has just been around everywhere, because he's had the speed buffs all the time, and so he's been able to make it from one side of the map to the other, whereas Funky struggled that a little bit. Now we can see Sporks getting engaged upon by most of Synapse Gaming. There is the Eagles rally to stun him out. Here comes the rest of Avant Garde and Synapse. This looks like it could be a good one, but...
They're doing fire. They're doing fire giants.
Oh, it's a fire giant. It's so... Sporks is just zoning him out of here. Very nice work from Avant Garde, tricking even me on the spectator camera, and just Synapse Gaming, they just can't get anywhere near it.
I just about miss it as well, but then all of a sudden I hear this crash in my ear, and I'm thinking, they're not doing it, are they? Sporks is just distracting them. He's not being cocky. That's fire giant for Avant Garde.
That's just excellent play. That's just superb communication and teamwork there from the boys of Avant, and they all get out very nicely, and they don't even lose a member of the team for that. They've all got the fire giant buff. They've got that for the next little while, and they're going to be looking to pressure Synapse, and this could spell the end for Hearts Go Boom and crew.
Now, because Biggie's got that Sylvanas, and he's probably going to finish off this lowest ground if he hasn't already. Yes, he has finished it now. They're going to be going for those sieges. They're going to be staying right at the foot of those towers, and they're going to be taking down one after the other, and then push on to those phoenixes if they can work quickly enough. And Synapse, how do you defend if you're Synapse right now?
You really can't. You can't really contest these tier 2s unless there's only a couple of members of Avant. If it's 4 or more, and you've just got to give it up and try and save a Phoenix. Now, Ro just engaging on Funke. Funke, not quite sure why he was there. Oh my god.
Never mind.
He has got 20 health. He had like 20 health getting out of there. Ro was 5 levels above him there, and just nearly like 2-shot him. That was, goodness gracious, that was just obscene.
Look at Ro's build, though. He's got Yoden's Wrath, Transcendence, and now he's working into that Titan's Bane. He's going to be hitting for a very large amount of damage with that penetration. And that Transcendence just means that he's going to be doing even more damage the later the game goes on.
And Biggie went for a blind pull there onto Hearts Go Boom and just barely got him and scratched his back pocket.
Black Hole's coming out.
Oh, Cat's in the mid there. Down goes to tier 2, so that's 2 tier 2 towers gone for Synapse Gaming now. It looks like Avant Garde going to look to pressure this left-hand side Phoenix. And Synapse, they're really going to struggle to defend this one. They need to get a good setup. They need to get a nice Athena taunt or an Agni stun to really set up the rest of the team.
The trouble is his entropy is so far behind that if he taunts too many people, he's going to get melted by those basic attacks as it is. Rolling Raphael coming out, Eagles Rally going to come on in. Ro has a double kill already.
An Elucidator getting extremely low here, gets portaled through the ground. Down he goes to a cheetah. The left-hand side Phoenix is going down. Sporks is keeping Hearts Go Boom and Entropy away from the rest of his team. And Avant, they're not going to bother with the rest of the Phoenixes. They're just going to look to end it here. Hearts Go Boom getting extremely low, even in his own fountain. But he's just going to get out alive. But Entropy going to go down. Hearts Go Boom, he can still go down in this fountain. Avant want him, but they're going to try and take this Titan. Maybe they should look to get that middle Phoenix. They're not doing a whole lot of damage at the moment. The Titan does have extra protections while the Phoenixes are up. Hearts Go Boom getting absolutely melted from Avant. He barely lives, but focus the Titan. Oh, Hearts, he picks up a kill. You know, Worth, he gets a kill at the end there.
He's got half of his team's kills. It's Worth. But, oh my god, I was not expecting them to go for the Titan straight away. I would have thought they would have at least gone that mid lane Phoenix, but they just went straight for the jugular.
Yeah, that was a 20-minute game. You just don't see those anymore, but that just shows how far ahead of the pack Avant Garde is, that they are able to do that and do so comfortably.
Well, we're going to go ahead into our post-game analysis here. One thing I want to look at, though, player damage from Ro, and he did 12,000 damage. However, Sporks also just barely behind him, also 12,000 damage.
It's incredible. We're just all... They work so well together as a team, Avant-Garde. They know what they want to do, and they don't let the other team stop them. And they came in here with a game plan, and that was map control. And they did it. They controlled the map. They didn't allow Synapse to really take any of their buffs or any camps. Like, they got the mid camps at the start, and that was about it. Then Avant-Garde got all the gold Furies, got the one fire giant. As soon as they got the fire giant, it was GG from there.
Yeah, so like the first thing that I saw wrong, like really wrong, was that they didn't they just didn't capitalize on Ro going for those that speed buff. If anything, I would have thought that that Synapse would have tried and set up a trap for him, knowing that he would try and sniff that out.
Exactly right. Well, that'll do us for Game 1. Join us in about 10 minutes for Game 2. But Avant-Garde have taken the first map in this best of 2 series in Week 1 of the Smite Oceanic Pro League.